would be the sights and sounds before every Rollins College men's basketball home game in the 2014-2015 season. The starting five would take the court with a face that everyone found familiar. Chris Uhle, a 6'11 center who averaged close to 10 points a game his senior season as a Rollins College Tar. Uhle started 23 out of the 26 games he played in 2015. In the year before that, in 2014, Chris Uhle started every game. He would also play in all 30 games his sophomore year, tallying at least 15 minutes a night. That level of consistency is hard to find anywhere in a basketball court. He's the school's all-time leader in block shots, at 150 through his tenure. He would finish third in blocks his senior season in the Sunshine State Conference, collecting 42 on the year. With that, he'd bring down 4 rebounds a night. But as his teammates would tell you,
yeah, I mean, as a basketball player, he's a lights-out shooter, and he was 6'11". I mean, you don't find that very often. He loved Kevin Love. He loved playing like that, just getting out there and shooting the ball. And yeah, when he got hot, he could take the game over. So it was something we relied on day in and day out. We tried to get him to the line more, but that wasn't his game. That's not how he thought mentally. He was a shooter, and so we put him in those positions, and coach tried to get him as many threes as he could every game. And when he got hot, we played much better as a team. So it was cool when he did.
His senior year, Uhle finished in the top 10 in three-point percentage in the Sunshine State Conference at 39.7%.
He was out there, just as James said. He was a shooter, a lights-out shooter, and regardless, you knew what you were going to get out of him day in and day out.
For being nearly 7 feet tall and Rollins' all-time leader in block shots, Chris Uhle had a less physical game than most would expect. In a game in which he scored a career-high 23 against Barry, Chris Uhle shot an outstanding 5 for 7 from behind the three-point line.
Well, to me, Chris was a silent killer, but as well, he was a gentle giant. You know, his presence always affected the game. I mean, he's 6'11", he can shoot the ball. I mean, you don't find that often or anywhere really. And it was a big key for our team last year or 2 years ago.
Chris Uhle was right on time in the era in which he played. The stretch 5 has taken over in the modern game of basketball. It's rare that a team doesn't have one or game plan for one. It stretches out the defense and allows for more opportunities on offense. Rollins knew Chris Uhle wouldn't be returning for the 2015-2016 season. He was a senior. Uhle was expected to play for the Saitama Broncos for his next step in his basketball career. They are a professional team in Japan. He and his team agreed on a 1-year contract, paying him $2,000 a month and also covering his cost of living. This obviously would come as exciting news to his friends and family. He spent the summer in Atlanta, training for the pros, but on August 19th, 2015, Chris Uhle passed away due to an enlarged heart at the young age of 22. Not only was Chris Uhle a unique basketball player, but to those who called him a teammate, we're happy to call him a friend.
My favorite memory would be spring break, but specifically that car ride. Me, him, and Sharif rode 5 hours to Miami, and I think that was a ride that I'll definitely never forget, and definitely one that I cherished. As far as off the court, he was just always down for whatever, always for the guys, always for the boys, and always for the team. Never really said much, but was always, always there for you whenever you needed him.
My favorite memory with Chris would have to be spring break. We all went down as a team to Miami. This was the first time that any of us got to experience a spring break just because of basketball. So unfortunately, we had a bad season that year, and we were able to have a spring break, and we all got to go to Miami, went to Key West. And that was definitely like some of the best times I've ever had with him and with the team. I would say on the court, he was the quiet guy on the court, which, he was a leader, but he was a leader by example. He never yelled at anybody. He never, talked down on anyone. He always listened to coach. And
my favorite memory of Chris was definitely a music festival we went to 2 years ago. It was just a bunch of guys. It was after the season. We had a blast. We were out there for like 3 days, just enjoying each other's company and stuff. Chris was always the guy that was up for whatever. I mean, whatever the group wanted to do, he was totally fine with. And that's how he was on the court with the team. I mean, he would do whatever it took for the team to win and whatever was better for everybody. He never got in anyone's way or was too much of a problem. He was just a great guy that was always there for everyone.
My favorite memory of Chris, I would say it was a game. He wasn't playing too well. Late in the second half, he had a tip dunk, a huge monster tip dunk, and his face just blew up, and our whole team just was so excited. And after that, he hit 2 back-to-back threes and led us to the win. I think he had 20-plus points, something like that.
There's no question Chris Uhle will be remembered. His number 24 will always be connected with Rollins College. The school plans to retire 24 to prove Chris Uhle still stands tall.